So if I asked you to picture Rory Gallagher with a guitar, the chances are you're going to pick his beat up 1961 Stratocaster, or perhaps a Telecaster which he was using for slide, or maybe even the Dobro or his Martin which he was using for acoustic. Probably the one that you wouldn't picture would be his 1978 Musicmaster. So today's video is me talking about this guitar and why I think he started using it for the Jinx Tour in 1982. Hi there folks, welcome to Dunsy's Guitar World 2. Yes, a deep dive into a Rory Gallagher guitar, his 1978 Fender Musicmaster. Now everything in this video is just simply my opinion and information I have managed to find on the internet. I'm not saying it is 100% accurate, it's just what I think. So I think he started using it for a specific reason for the time of the Jinx album. And today I'm going to play 3 guitars and tell you why I think he started using the Musicmaster. So the 3 guitars today are, so the first guitar is this 1979 Greco Stratocaster, which is in standard tuning. Now we'd normally expect Rory to be playing in standard tuning like. So that's guitar number 1, a Greco in standard tuning. Guitar number 2. Guitar number 2 is this 1986 Fender Stratocaster. Now it is in standard tuning, but I have put a capo on the 2nd fret. So that's guitar number 2, capo on the 2nd fret. And finally, guitar number 3 is this Fender Mustang, which I have tuned up a full tone up to F sharp. So that's me playing an E chord, but it's all the way up to F sharp. Every string is up a full tone. Now this guitar has the same scale length as a Fender Musicmaster. Now let's look at some of the tracks on the album Jinx and some tracks that Rory was playing live in 1982. This is a Rock Palace video, which is incredible. It's like a really long video and Rory is just unbelievably great in it. So let's look at some of the tracks that he's playing from the Jinx album and how they're tuned, and specifically why he's using a short scale guitar, the Musicmaster. So let's watch the intro. This is when the band are coming on stage and tuning up. Rory's using the 61 Strat on this. So we'll see if we can work out what tuning. So we're almost in concert pitch here. I don't know if my guitar is exactly in tune with Rory's, but he's playing an E standard, I would suggest, at this point. So he starts the whole of the set with his 61 Strat in standard tuning, and he plays the first 2 songs, Wayward Child and Double Vision, on his Strat in standard tuning. And then we go on to song 3, Big Guns. Now this is the first one from the Jinx album. So let's see what he's playing on that. So this is the first time he's using the Musicmaster. So the notes that he seems to be playing here are in standard tuning are B and A, but if you watch him closely, he is playing off an A chord away down here. And Jerry seems to be playing on the B. So it seems to me that the Musicmaster is tuned higher. So that's him playing an E on the Musicmaster there. So that E is that there, which in standard tuning, so I focus my camera. I'm trying to run 2 cameras here and record it and the screen and everything. So when he's playing an E, when Rory's playing an E major there, in standard tuning, we're playing up here, an F sharp. So if I change guitars, play that on my Strat, which has got a capo on the 2nd fret. So when Rory hits that E chord, oh well, he's playing an E, it's not really an E, but right. and then he plays the rest of it. So I think he's using the Musicmaster there because it's tuned a full tone higher, and I think 3 or 4 of the songs on the Jinx album are tuned higher. So what we'll do is I'll plug in the same scale length, but tuned up to F sharp. Now I know on the Rory site it says that he started using the Musicmaster about 1982, around the time of the Jinx Tour, and he would use it when his Strat wasn't working, but I think there's more than that. I think specifically on the Jinx Tour, I think he started using that because it was tuned higher. So I think you play, now the reason this has come about, if you stick with me here, is I was going to do a couple of guitar lessons for songs off the Jinx album, which I love the Jinx album, very rock and roll. And I was thinking, I'm not 100% sure how this has been played, but I think he's using a capo on the Jinx album, or he has tuned up, he's already using the Musicmaster, and he's tuned up a full tone, because Big Gun to me sounds like this. That's how it sounds to me. Played, if you were playing that in standard tuning, then it's a lot more difficult to play, because I think he's picking these C and G chords. So it sounds to me like we're up in F sharp. So it sounds to me like the Musicmaster here is tuned up a full tone to F sharp. Now, interestingly, I will say, strangely enough, when you listen to the album version of Big Gun, that's actually up another tone as well. So that's up in that's up in G, or he's using a capo on the 3rd fret. So I think to accommodate that song from Jinx, when Rory's playing it live, he's using the Musicmaster tuned up a full tone to F sharp, but he's playing the song actually down a semitone from what is recorded on the album. So I mean, it's very clever to be doing all this stuff, and you know, Rory was just an incredible guitar player. I mean, to him it would be no trouble, but to us lesser mortals, working out what to do, because you're playing in a different position and stuff like that as well. So I think for Big Guns, the album version, he's either using a capo on the 3rd fret, which I will show you just now. So I think the album version is. So I think that's what's on the album version. I think he's using a capo on the 3rd fret for that specific tune. Now the next song that he plays from Jinx is Bourbon. So if we watch the video for Bourbon, I'm not going to drink any, it's a bit early in the morning here in Scotland for doing that. So we get to the Chuck Berry type of intro. So playing that in standard tuning, I'm not playing any open strings in one, but standard tuning, we're up in B. And just to prove that, I will actually play on my guitar in standard tuning. Apologies for them. This is very off the cuff, I haven't planned this. I just thought it would be quite interesting for any Rory fans out there. And you know, if anybody else has noticed this, like, did you notice that the Musicmaster seems to be in a different tuning from my camera's going to get right on my tits. So the studio version of Bourbon is. And then it sounds to me like it's he's playing notes which you can't really play and make it sound good if you're playing in B. I think you need to be playing that on an open A string, which means you need to tune your whole guitar up a full tone to F sharp. So bear with me. So if you watch him playing it, he's definitely playing it in A, and the Chuck Berry intro is up here on the 5th fret. And then it goes into something like something like that. So again, I think he's using the Musicmaster specifically on that occasion to replicate what is on the album. I think on the album he's either using a capo on the 2nd fret, or he's already using the Musicmaster and he's tuned up. So I think on the Jinx album he is playing signals. I am not 100% sure. I've seen people cover this on YouTube, and one person used a capo, and to me it sounds easier to play with a capo. So when I do my guitar lesson, I will probably do it with a capo, just because it's easier to play. The Devil Made Me Do It, I think standard tuning, double vision and standard tuning. Big Guns, I think capo on the 3rd fret perhaps. The other songs, the song Bourbon, again I think it's a capo on the 2nd fret. Jinxed, I think is a capo on the 2nd fret. Now interestingly, Rory did a couple of older songs on the Rock Palace video. He did What in the World, and he did a cover of Nadine, and he's also using the Musicmaster on them. So I don't think he changes tuning on the Musicmaster at all. He does seem to be playing those two songs with a guitar which is tuned up a full tone. So really, my point was, I'm going to be doing a few lessons for Rory Gallagher songs from the Jinx album, and I may be doing them with a capo, some of them anyway, because to me it makes more sense. I think he was using the Musicmaster on that 1982 Jinx Tour to replicate the sounds that he got on the album, where he may have been using a capo on the 2nd fret on a few of those songs, and possibly on Big Gun a capo on the 3rd fret. As ever folks, it's a privilege and a pleasure talking nonsense on a Monday morning here in Edinburgh on Dunsea's Guitar World. I do hope that was interesting for the Rory Gallagher fans out there, and I'll put the link down below to the Rock Palace video. So that is my theory. My theory is that Rory started using the Musicmaster to tune it up to get the sound that he was getting on the Jinx album. I think later on, maybe when he was using it, I think there's a video from 85 and he's using it, I think he's back in standard tuning on the Musicmaster, but I definitely think for that 82 tour, certainly the Rock Palace video, he is playing a guitar which is tuned up. So thank you folks, cheers for now.